German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has arrived in China and he has met with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. With this, he has become the first G7 leader to visit China since the start of the COVID pandemic. Chinese President Xi Jinping touted the need for greater cooperation between China and Germany. Beijing said this is crucial in times of change and turmoil. The high-stakes visit is being closely watched by many. It remains to be seen if Germany will reduce its economic reliance on
Insofern ist es gut, dass wir einen ganz intensiven Austausch hier haben werden über alle Fragen, die wir miteinander besprechen wollen und können, auch was unsere bilateralen Beziehungen betrifft und die Möglichkeiten, die wirtschaftlichen Beziehungen weiterzuentwickeln. Selbstverständlich auch die Fragen, wo wir unterschiedliche Perspektiven verfolgen. Das ist das Ziel eines guten Austausches.
The trip comes amid rising voices within Scholz's ruling coalition, who have been calling for a rethink of Germany's China policy. Beijing has been Berlin's biggest trading partner for the past 6 years. But in a bid to address the rising geopolitical tensions, the current three-party coalition government has announced its intention to reduce its economic dependence and strengthen relations with democratic states in Asia. According to a recent survey, 1 in 2 Germans hope that Germany's economy can be more independent of China. The West is also cautiously watching Scholz's one-day visit to China, especially after one of Europe's largest ports, the Hamburg port, had joined forces with a Chinese shipping giant. The West is also concerned about China's human rights record and trade practices. Scholz is expected to raise human rights concerns and to discuss the autocratic tendencies during his one-day trip. According to a German official, Scholz also hopes that China could help persuade Russia to end the war in Ukraine. Now, for more on this, we are being joined by our correspondent, Patrick Falk. Hello to you, Patrick, and thanks for being with us. Now, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has met with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. What are the key takeaways?
Well, the key takeaway, certainly for China, was that this, as many analysts have said, is a win because it comes shortly after President Xi Jinping secured a historic third term as China's leader. And so many analysts believe that this legitimizes his power grab, some would say, and legitimizes his new government as well. But, you know, this really has been a trip that is very much focused on commercial tie-ups. We're still waiting to hear what sort of developments there have been on that front following Olaf Scholz's meeting with Premier Li Keqiang. Remember, he was accompanied by 12 business executives from Germany. But, you know, certainly, like you say, a lot of people back home in Germany have been saying that the country needs to reduce its reliance on autocracies like China, particularly following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But the reality is that Germany is facing some severe economic headwinds, record high inflation, looming recession, and Chancellor Scholz is certainly of the view that cooperation with the world's second largest economy is absolutely necessary, like it or not.
Right. Considering the size of the Chinese economy, do you think that Beijing could have exerted more pressure on Moscow to end the war in Ukraine, something that the West has been asking China to do for a long time?
Well, certainly that is of the view of many Western governments, and we don't know to what extent Chancellor Scholz discussed that particular matter with President Xi, but he did notably say that it was important to be able to have these discussions, these intense discussions, and essentially be able to cooperate where the two sides need to on matters like business, but be able to hash out those differences, including issues related to the war in Ukraine.
Right, Patrick, thank you very much for bringing us all the latest.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.